Where I'm standing right now is in a remote village here in the Solomon Islands, and I'm very fortunate to have a unique insight into how people are living here, what they're growing, how they're foraging and hunting for food, where they're getting their water from. It's very much like we've gone back in time to a slower paced, very beautiful way of life, and I want to share that in this video with you guys. Let's go for a walk. As you walk around the island, pretty much everywhere is either an edible fruit tree, plant, or a medicine plant. Behind me is soursop, which was brought in from South America. I've got an amazing, beautiful green fruit, with little nipples or spines on it, white flesh, super tasty. And a volleyball court. You'll find that the local community is very much integrated into where Driftwood is set up. So every afternoon, all the kids, all the locals are here just having a game of volleyball. They're volleyball mad. This is one of the huts which is probably about 10 meters away from the drop off where the reef is. You can hear the waves crashing at night, the ocean breeze. It's absolutely sensational, and all of the timber, as is all of the structures here, are made from timber just behind us in the rainforest, or where this used to be is now a beautiful hut. It's called the Firefly because at night there's fireflies everywhere through the rainforest as you're walking into your room. It's pretty special. Right behind me, this is the other side of where I was standing. Reef drop off 500 meters deep, so you can literally catch wahoo, billfish and tuna and lobsters straight out the front of where you're staying. Quickly just show you inside where we've been staying the last couple of nights. So this is where it's been home for the last 3 nights, and it really goes to show, and it's a reminder for me when I stay in places like this, this is all you need. It's just a big open space. There's a bathroom in the back corner, a toilet, a main bedroom. And you just look out towards the ocean, a couple of day beds, a sink, all timber floor, high ceiling, breeze, all screened off from the insects. But if you leave the door open, sometimes you get fireflies in here at night. So you're literally laying in bed, listening to the waves crash, and there's little glowing insects, like little fireflies, just cruising above your bed. It's it's wow. It's pretty insane. So behind me here is the main workshop for Driftwood, and this is where a lot of the tables, the chairs, the fit outs, the structures, dugout canoes, carvings, which is a really big part of the Solomon Island culture, which I'll show you some of the best carvings you'll ever see in your life up the top of the hill. But yeah, this is where a lot of the magic happens. It's all off grid here, there's no mains power, so the water comes from a waterfall at the top of this mountain that's gravity fed from a huge cement water tank that services the village. And yeah, they've brought in over the last decade solar panels, batteries, upgrading the system every year, and it's getting better and better. It's pretty impressive to have power. You pretty much only got to walk a few meters and there's something you can eat. Behind me is a red papaya. I don't exactly know what variety it is, but it looks like it's on steroids or in extremely good soil. They're some of the biggest I've ever seen. This will pretty much just keep growing and growing and growing until they can't put people on their shoulders anymore to pick them. And what you could do is when it gets too high, this is what we do at home, is say that growth shoot there, you take that off, and then you just cut the papaya there on a bit of an angle, and then that there would become your new leader and you'd get all your fruit from that. But I don't need to tell them how to grow fruit around here. Everywhere you look is like a supermarket here in the jungle. That's pretty cool. But this here is like it's pretty much growing like a weed, and it smells like dill. Looks like dill, but most likely is dill, but it literally grows like a weed. This could be used in like a pesto and then have it with your seafood. It's an awesome herb. Wish you could smell this right now. Oh, it's really good, and it's literally popping up everywhere like a weed. Wish my herb garden in Australia would grow like that. I'll show you up the top of the hill here. One of the locals told me that probably 100 years ago, you wouldn't see any huts, any villages along the edge of the water on the coast. Everyone lived up on the mountain, up in the high country. And the reason being is the headhunting culture and cannibalism was very sort of prevalent through the whole of the Solomon Islands. So there was these raiding parties that would pull in on the foreshore, and they'd come in to, you know, steal and kill and hunt the chief's son, or you know, whoever else they had their target on. So you were quite vulnerable. It wasn't smart to live on the coast. So everyone's up on the hill here. Next to me here, this is what's called a chop nut tree, which is basically a nut that they chop open, and it's like an almond on the inside, and they either eat it raw or they roast it over the fire. And it's super, super tasty. We've been eating it the last couple of days. And you either climb up and cut it, or these trees grow huge, so you need to use a stick to throw it up, cut it off here, and then it'll fall to the ground and you can collect the nuts. Chop nut. Yeah, that's good. They're definitely better roasted, but the earthy taste is quite nice. This is one of the most spectacular villages I've ever seen. Hey, hello. One thing you notice here in the village is that everyone takes a lot of pride of their house and of their garden. The gardens are immaculate. There's so much growing. It's literally like a food forest. That there's sort of a traditional house. This here, a sort of preparation cooking area. And just wanted to show you how immaculate they keep their gardens. Like, this is all cassava here. This is Ibeca, which is a tropical spinach. There's roosters and chickens and ginger and taro. There's coconuts absolutely everywhere. There's bananas, eggplant, yeah, sugarcane, banana. It's a proper fruit forest. Oh, look at the size of these pawpaws. It's actually like world record pawpaw. Like double the size of my head. This beautiful structure behind me here is the kitchen, and the feature I love most about it is the produce, like where the pantry is kept, is how a pantry should look. There's no shit wrapped in plastic, there's no processed sugar, preservatives. It's literally whole food that have been collected over the last few days from the surrounding area. Yeah, different types of potatoes, pineapples, melons, pumpkins, bananas, different types of bananas, cucumbers. There's absolutely everything. It's and one thing I love, there's always a stockpile of coconuts. Always, every day. Everywhere you walk, there's just coconuts. It's so good. This epic structure behind me, guarded by a couple of blue whale bones. This huge blue whale floated up on the rocks quite a few years ago, and they're parts of the rib cage. On the other side of that is some accommodation. It's got a beautiful loft. There's a canoe in there as well, probably like a 6-meter dugout canoe that's got carvings of the histories and folklore and stories of the local area. And it's just like a general hangout area that looks out over the ocean, over the rainforest. Super peaceful, amazing space, and yeah, it's where a lot of the magic happens up here at Driftwood. I'm pretty sure they can accommodate for sort of 8 to 10 people, but if you anything that you see in this video that you want to know more about, or if you did want to come and check this place out yourself, I'll have a link in the description of this video and you can contact them directly and have a yarn. Lemongrass as well in front of me. Really good to keep mosquitoes off and great in a curry, but you probably already know that. Behind me, all-weather fire cook-up area and a little wood-fired pizza oven. You can cook a lot of different stuff in there. Behind me is another small workshop that got set up, I guess out of the desperation of COVID. It was one of these creative ideas that one of the owners, Woody, came together after seeing some light peer through some fossilized coral. So in a bid to keep on the staff that he had, upskill a few of his crew, they started making these like very unique, handmade, bespoke, I don't have the language around interior design or lighting, but basically these insanely beautiful, like one-off dome lamps and light covers, and when you put a light bulb through them, see if I can get a close-up of one. I'm terrified to touch them because I got a feeling they're pretty expensive, so they should be. Look at how fine, like that's not done with any template, that's just all done by sight, by hand. And the light will be peering out the middle, and that all of this just gives out this very unique one-off pattern. No two are the same. Very beautiful. You can check out them. They're called Morovo Island Traders, and yeah, I'm pretty sure they're sending them to a lot of different parts of the world, so definitely check them out. Even all the bench tops, workbenches here are coral mosaics, fossilized coral mosaics. Won't see this too many places. It's pretty impressive the variety of meals that they push out of this small space. Pretty much everything's locally sourced. There's fish from out the front, there's lobsters, there's different types of tropical salads, fruit salads, all sorts of salads, all sorts of sourced meats. It's fantastic. Yeah, every time I come in here, yeah, the team's just whipped up a world-class meal. We've walked up the top of Driftwood to about 100 meters of elevation. You can still hear the waves crashing, so it ascends really quickly. And at the back of me here, it just goes further up the mountain, and there's quite a few water sources, springs, waterfalls. Behind me, this cement tank is what's gravity feeding and servicing all the fresh water. Crystal clean, spring-fed mountain fresh water for the villages that are sort of a bit further down this hill here. And around me, where it's largely cleared, was a logging company came in, done a bit of a deal with the devil, and took out a lot of the best hardwood timber trees, which here is very famous for, this part of the Pacific, you know, beautiful hardwood timber. They came, logged them out. The silver lining is that where we are, things grow quite well. It's very equatorial, warm, humid, things grow fast. So the rainforest does come up very quick, and the locals have used the cleared area to grow a lot of their produce. Cassava, yams, pineapples, pumpkin patches, you name it. If it's in a tropical climate, they're growing it. I think the orchard's just up the back here, so we'll go and have a quick look. So behind me here, one of the village elders was telling us yesterday, he's like, we got some timber tree, not our one, your one. He's saying, like, the western ones, the white man ones. So behind me here, they've replanted some of the logged area with some non-native species for seeing how they go in this climate. Teak, mahogany, and eucalypt. This is getting absolute hammered by some sort of bug or insect, but something's got to be sacrificial. It might look all the same around me, but I'm standing in amongst pretty much everything that's edible. This is all sweet potato under the ground. There's cassava and other root vegetables behind me. This is ibeca, a tropical spinach. What's pretty remarkable is that there's so much rock in the ground. There's limestone, there's fossilized coral, there's other sort of volcanic stone, and sort of spread amongst is this really, really dark, rich, beautiful organic matter, which, you know, this coupled with the temperature of the environment is leading to amazing growing conditions. Oh, look at that. You just throw a seed in that and it'll grow up to be a giant tree. Pretty optimal growing conditions. I have no idea what this plant is. Doesn't smell like you'd want to put it in a curry or a stir fry. And it's almost too pretty to be a weed.
Chobo chili. When you have flu or cold, you have to get the younger parts, the top part. Collect as many as you can rub them using rub, but you have to collect it when the dew is still on the leaves,
Okay.
so that it will have. Then you squeeze when it in the morning, early in the morning we have to collect. Then to cope, yeah,
Cough.
yeah, and the asthma like that.
What's the plant called?
Tombo chiri.
Sombochiri.
It's sour.
This is the name for it.
I like the smell. Yeah.
Chumbuchiri.
Just tongue taste is what. Really sour. The juice is sour when you drink
Yeah, it don't taste like Panadol, no.
it? No.
Like Benadryl.
Red one.
Dead.
A cran.
For diarrhea. When somebody have the what we call bakua, the skin disease,
Yep.
you can use this one, the milky part of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that skin disease will get sored, and then what we call it choo-choo.
Choo-choo.
Yeah, but it will make your skin sore.
Yep. This clearing here, Vincent was saying, an Australian?
Yeah.
An Australian came over here. They ended up with a few different varieties of tropical fruit, which I noticed a few of the leaves and very much excite me as a tropical fruit lover. Cempedak, jackfruit, durian, a couple of different types of sapotes. It's pretty good. I'll be back here in 8 years. The grasshoppers are just hammering these. What you find is if it's away like this is from being right on the edge of the beach, you get a lot more pests. It's surrounded by rainforest, quite still. But everything, any of the gardens that we're seeing down on the edge of the water, because it's getting so much salt spray, so much wind, it's keeping a lot of those pests off. So yeah, the plants are, yeah, it's like a trade-off. The sands, the soil is far sandier and less nutrients, but there's less pests. But up here, the soil's a lot better and there's significantly more pests. So yeah, pros and cons to every environment. There's quite a lot of little land crabs. Please don't bite me. Up here in the hill country. Still hear the ocean, but it's a bit of a long journey to get to the ocean, so they're obviously living up here. Hey, see you, bud. Got a stack of timber here that was milled just in this rainforest here. Previously, everything was cut up with chainsaws, all the footings, all the beams and that for the houses and for the decks. Now the team at Driftwood brought in a Lucas mill. And now they mill up their own timber, which is significantly safer and smoother than the chainsaw. But yeah, you'll see there's some huts behind me here, which everything in there is from the environment around you. Even the roof there is all the leaf from the sago palms, which are grown at the top of the mountain as well. So pretty much everything's self-sufficient. Food from the ocean, grown in the soil, and the huts built from the rainforest around them. Pretty cool. It's only in recent times that they've started upgrading to the corrugated iron, which means that they don't have to change and upgrade their roofs as much as they normally would with just having the sago palm. So it's a combination of the sago palm leaves and the corrugated iron. And they've also got some PVC pipes where they're collecting water that runs down from the roof going into tanks as well, just as a little bit of a backup. So this here is traditional fabric that was used not only for clothing as a lap, but to tie up behind you and carry babies. It's from a tree that grows literally about 50 meters that way, native to the island, and there's a process involved by banging with a hardwood on the outer bark, and then slowly sort of peeling that off, comes off in a tube, and then quite a lengthy process of just breaking that down, wringing it out, breaking it down, making it wider and wider. until you've got yourself your clothing. That's your traditional Solomon Islands and a lot of the Pacific Islands material to make clothing. It actually smells quite fragrant. It's very, very strong. Very strong. And really enjoyable process to make. Better than online shopping. In front of me here's the latest shipment this morning, which came in on banana boat from a neighbouring island where there's a port a bit over an hour away. That's one of the challenging things about setting up here on a remote island. There's no truck or car access, no vehicles. Everything is transported between the islands by a banana boat. And I'll show you the little yacht club or wharf that we've got here where all the boats come in. Behind me is the wharf here, or the yacht club. There's a couple of houses scattered around it, and it's essentially this little freshwater creek that goes straight out onto the reef and then drops down. But there's sort of a few large coral rocks at the mouth, and if the tide's high enough, you can skim one of the banana boats over and come in here for a safe anchorage. It also joins up the two villages, so there's a school on the other side, and there's a couple of hour walk that way, a high school. None of them which have power. This is how you walk across the river, just with bamboo. I'm told this is the best the bridge has ever been, and during the wet season, which is virtually half of the year because it rains pretty much every day, the floods will just wash that away, and then they just cut down more bamboo, make a new one. But yeah, all the kids come down here in the afternoon and play on it and do backflips and hang out. Hey, Killy.
Just want to go to the village canteen.
Yep.
Find some coffee.
Should we go over, have a look?
Went to the village.
Yes.
You want to come along? You can go.
We'll come for a small walk.
Yeah, let's go.
We've never walked over to this side of the river before, so we've crossed the bridge and there's a sort of new orchard that's getting set up here. Mango. Someone's put a mango seedling in. Thought there was a distinct lack of mangoes here, so it's good to see. Normally you got to climb them, but this is a dwarf coconut, and there's no way I'm taking one off because the person who lives in that house there has planted this. Is probably sharpening their knife looking at me. But very proud. Should be very proud with that. It's good.
Like in the month of December, that's when we experiencing a king tide.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna go really high. And in the month of June, May, June, we experience the low tide. So that's when all the fish gonna dry up with the spot. Kids gonna walk around, look for some crayfish, maybe shells. So just now it started to get, the tide is starting to coming up, going back to normal. Until in December we experienced the high tide.
This area, there's about 60 families that are living, and you can tell why. Have a look at how perfect it is behind me. There's this freshwater river that's coming down, not only for drinking, but you'll see there's quite a few kids swimming, there's ladies doing their dishes, there's mums washing the clothes, there's a lot of fish, there's prawns, there's eels. It goes straight out towards the ocean and a beautiful beach. Yeah, you can definitely understand why there's so many people living close to here. Great soil, beautiful fresh water, reef out the front. It's honestly paradise. We've been here for 5 days and it honestly feels like 3 weeks. It's definitely not a complaint. Being back in the Pacific Islands, after a few days, you just slowly feel your cortisol level drops, the stress moves out the door, everyone's super friendly, they're smiling, there's a really strong sense of community, and yeah, it just feels good, I'll be honest with you. The food's really clean, you start sleeping really well. There's definitely something to it, whether there's something in the air, something in the water, the vibrational frequency of it, being away from the chaos of marketing and people glued to their screens and mass consumerism. Like, being here is just, yeah, I don't know, it's proper back to basics. If you want to see more of here, we do have another channel. We do a lot of outdoor adventure stuff, B2B Adventures. Check out that. And if any of this does appeal to you, if you'd love to come and have an experience here in the Solomon Islands, I'd highly recommend it. Check out Driftwood Eco Lodge. You won't be disappointed. Catch ya.